I hope you all are ready. This has been months in the planning, going from one end of the state to the other. This is the Idaho BDR. Here we go. Welcome to Idaho, everybody. We have finally made it. We have started the Idaho BDR. Now, yesterday was a very, very long day of driving. We went from Colorado all the way out here to Idaho. We started in the Glen Ferry area, and it was over 800 miles worth of driving. So when we got into camp last night, it was almost 9 o'clock, and the rest of the night we just set up camp, hung out, cooked some food, and just relaxed because we were really, really tired. And what an awesome spot, guys. This campsite, which I'll show you here in a second, is just under some trees, tucked up. It was super dark, really quiet. It was beautiful, and I slept great. Now, if you guys will remember, I told you I'm not alone on this trip. First off, we have my dad. He's with me. He's going to be doing, like always, 95% of the driving while we're out here. But I also have two other people with me on this adventure, which I will introduce you to them later on. They have their own Jeep and setup, the whole 9 yards. So I'll show you guys around camp here in a little bit. The plan for this whole trip is we are going to be following the Idaho BDR route that was created by the people that created all the BDRs, which is going to be a lot of fun. We do have some areas in there where we have, I should say, have modified the trail a little bit, just because we have options. There's a section of the route that's like 300 miles. If we don't want to do that 300 miles, I have a thing that cuts out that 300 miles. But that's all to come. Today's goal, because we did so much driving yesterday, is we're going to go and try and find Big Trinity Lake. And we're going to have a day at the lake. We're going to go out there. It's probably an hour away or so, give or take. So we're going to do a lot of fishing. I say fishing. We're going to throw a line and hope we don't catch a rock fish. I'm going to break out the paddleboard. We're just going to hang out, relax over by the lake, and then towards the, later afternoon, we will go and find camp, guys. I have campsites marked all along this route. I have more campsites than I know what to do with. So we have so many options, and if some don't pan out, there's others to go look for. So at the moment, guys, we got coffee going. We're starting to pick up camp a little bit, and we're in no rush. Absolutely zero rush. A short time later, we were off, and in today's group, we have my friend who has his mighty green Eco Diesel Jeep. Don't worry, I'm going to introduce him later on in the video. And right behind him, as you see her coming around, is my Jeep Guana, driven by my dad. Now, this is going to be an absolutely awesome adventure, guys. For those of you that have watched my videos in the past, you all will know I do not like camping near the main trail. I like it being quiet and as far away as possible, and this campsite was no exception, regardless of what time we got in the following night. But it didn't take long, and we were back onto the main trail and ready to tackle miles and miles and miles of the Idaho BDR. The Idaho BDR is 1,250 miles, and our journey would see us go from the southern part of Idaho all the way to the Canadian border. And though the Canadian border is our goal, we do have destinations along the route each day that we want to make it to for camp. And today, our route would see us going past the Anderson Ranch Reservoir, up into the mountains to the small mountain lakes of Big Trinity Lake. And this being the beginning of our adventure, we didn't know yet
that all the fires in Canada, all that smoke had pushed its way through the entire state of Idaho. We were completely clueless pretty much the whole route until we finally got to service later on towards the end of our adventure, but it was extremely hazy in the beginning.
There is a haze, whether it's from all the farmers harvesting, there's a fire somewhere, there is a haze in the air, but it is nice. It does keep kind of the sun's rays off of us for the most part. I am having some difficulties with the drone. For whatever reason, it logged me out off of the main remote, so I cannot fly my drone because it won't fly more than 50 meters and then it won't fly anymore. So until I find some service, I'm hoping we might have some over by Trinity Lake. I can't get the drone up in the air. This is so annoying.
Though the drone was causing me quite a few issues this morning, as we turned this corner, we quickly realized that the dirt we had been on was disappearing for the present and that blacktop lay ahead. Now, it must be said that the Idaho BDR is about 80% dirt, with the other 20% being blacktop scattered throughout the entire route.
Okay, like I said, not all of this route is complete dirt right now. We are on the blacktop. How long we are going to be on the blacktop, things like that, I'm not quite sure. We are going to be going around this place. It's called Anderson Ranch Reservoir. It's a big water reservoir. Never seen it before, obviously, but we are going to see it. But this part is blacktop at the moment. We didn't really air down when we first got onto the trail because it was blacktop for a while. Then it became really easy county road that had very little corrugations. So it's been good. Another good thing, I got the drone back on for whatever reason. But so that's now able to fly, but I can't fly it on the blacktop because it won't keep it. That will not be making it into the video. Thank you oh so much, good sir. But guys, we're going to continue on this blacktop as we head for our journey for Trinity Lake today.
But it doesn't take long before we are back on the dirt, heading down to the Anderson Ranch Reservoir.
Guys, check out this view. This is the start of where the reservoir is, and we still have to go down it. This is beautiful. Look at this view, guys. Right down there, zoom in. You can see the water flowing. That flows to the reservoir. It is absolutely beautiful, guys. That is just so gorgeous down there. That water rushing. It's absolutely breathtaking. Now, I have two gentlemen over here that I have to introduce you guys to, because you've seen the Jeep now. They're behind me. So, this is Rudy, and his friend Ellen is behind him. Hello. They're out here on this adventure with us, guys. And this has been so much fun. And that is Rudy's Jeep right there in his trailer. We will do a walk around of it later on. But guys, this has been an absolutely awesome way to start this adventure.
Anderson Ranch Reservoir is in the southwest region of Idaho. Coming in at 14 miles long and a mile wide, the reservoir spans 4,607 acres. Created in 1940 by the Boise Project, the reservoir sits 330 feet or 100 meters above the stream we just saw. The reservoir is used for irrigation for farms and the ranches around the area, and also power production by the dam itself that we are crossing right now. But it is a very pleasant place if you are looking for some waterfront camping, some good fishing, or even to get out on the water on a boat or a paddleboard.
turned off of the blacktop, so as we went around the reservoir, it was nice, really nicely done county road. It ended in blacktop. We went through the little town of Pine, and now we are heading towards Big Trinity Lake, and it is still a well-maintained Forest Service road. It's got some corrugations to it here and there, don't get me wrong, but we are back into the trees, guys, and it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
The trails leading up to Big Trinity Lake are not difficult whatsoever, but honestly, all of today hasn't been difficult either. Idaho really does take a lot of care into their trails and their Forest Service roads. Now, this climb up into the mountains is incredibly scenic with views around every corner of the surroundings. However, damage of the past fires pepper the landscape, giving an eerie reminder of how dangerous a campfire can be if unattended or not put out properly in this heat, guys. It was extremely warm the entire time we were in Idaho, seeing temperatures up over 100 degrees. Now, I know you've noticed already, but Rudy is no longer behind us. They had radioed in at the start of the climb up into the mountains that something had been left in the small town of Pine when they went into the store, and they were going back to get it. We had pressed on, going so that we could make camp and have it prepared and ready, so when they arrived, they wouldn't have to do anything but set up their own stuff.
Been a little bit since I checked in with you. We have made it to the lakes now. Big Trinity Lake has 3 smaller lakes, smaller Trinity Lake, and there's 2 other ones, and we are at one of these smaller lakes. The Big Trinity Lake, before I show you camp, is back up that way behind these trees here. It was completely packed full of people camping in like pre-designated campsites, so it wasn't gonna work for us, too many people. So we came down to one of the smaller ones. Nobody, not a soul. And I'll show you the lake here in a second, but here's camp at the moment. We got it all set up, the awning's out, we got our chair, table, everything, the tent's up. We're still getting some stuff put together, but right here, as you guys can see, is the lake right there. Now don't get me wrong, this is one of those free, it's a designated camp spot. You didn't have to pay. There was no fee for this lake right here, but it was a predetermined camp spot, and the reason we did it was, 1, the water's right there. It's right there, which is great. 2, it took very little effort to set up camp, and like I said, guys, it's, what is it? It's 3 o'clock. We're done. This is it for the day. I'm gonna break up my paddleboard and I'm gonna bring you guys along. But first I have to see how deep this water is. But yeah, guys, we got the water literally right here. We got some fishing poles. I don't know what's in here, but yeah, we're just gonna, relax, cool off a bit. It's quite hot. We're at, what is it, 7,000 feet? Maybe just a little over 7,000 feet elevation. It's 80 degrees. It's hot. and there are a lot of biting flies, but we have off for that. But yeah, guys, it is awesome. So we're just kind of chilling, hanging out. Rudy and Alan have not caught up yet. We're hoping that they'll be able to find us over here, because they have the map. First off, they have my Gaia map. I sent it to them. I'm hoping they know how to find the lake. It wasn't difficult, especially if they're using the map. And two, I'm hoping that they realize that there's a ton of people over there and we're not going to be there, and we're going to be over here, and they'll come and look. We do have a walkie-talkie, or a radio, that Rudy uses. It's not a super long distance range, so I'm hoping once they get a little closer in range, he might be smart enough to use it, or we'll try later on. But I'll keep you guys posted on whether they make it or not. It'll be interesting. But for now, guys, we're gonna finish putting the last few things together for camp, so we can collect firewood, stuff like that, and chill, and then I'll catch you guys when I'm ready to hit the water. It's gonna be fun. So much fun. It's so warm, guys, and that water is nice and cold. Alright, guys, we're just kind of floating out here in the middle of this tiny lake with a paddleboard. It's really awesome. Water is so clear you can see the bottom. This isn't extremely deep, mind you. I could stand up in this and it might be at my waist, but it is pretty cool. It's really gorgeous out here. There's a lot of biting flies. Way too many biting flies. They just like to bite me. I'm hoping once it cools off some they'll bugger off. We'll see. This is some of the calmest water I've ever paddleboarded on. It's just peaceful out here, guys. So peaceful. So beautiful. Idaho is awesome. It has been absolutely awesome so far, guys. I don't know if you guys can see it. Right over there is where camp is. I can see the Jeep. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. But yeah, we're out in the middle of this lake. So awesome.
Hour later,
it's been a day. So, we have no idea where Rudy and Alan are. We have zero idea. We've doubled back. We went all over. I have walked back up towards where Trinity Lake is, because we're at one of the little smaller lakes just past it. I haven't seen them. It's 6:14. We don't know if they took a wrong turn. We have no idea. So, we came back to camp. My paddleboard exploded. It was just sitting there drying, and I was out walking out to Trinity Lake, and my dad said all of a sudden it went boom. It just popped, and it was just sitting over on that little table right there. It was just sitting there drying, so I have no idea. It had less pressure in it than normal. The drone broke. It was in hover mode, and all of a sudden it just started crab walking, and it had like no controller response whatsoever, and it crashed into a tree, and it fell and broke one of its arms. Yeah. The Jeep was making a racketing little noise. That one bolt, remember, that I pulled over to the side in Moab to deal with a few months back, that bolt had come loose, so I had to tighten that. Into overlooking the Jeep at that, we have discovered there is a small oil leak from one of the seals we're taking it. It's not a huge oil leak, and I am going with it must have just started, or it had been happening for a little bit, and the dust just made it visible. I honestly, guys, I have no idea. When the drive shaft issue went up last month, there was no leak, so who knows? I have not a clue. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We'll see. We have a ditch out point tomorrow, so we got to keep going on our trail. And there's I call it a ditch out point. It's like
Idaho Route 20 or something like that. It's a road, and we can shoot that down into Boise if we need to, depending on how things are looking. We're going to check as the day goes on tomorrow. But yeah, this was supposed to be relaxing. This has not been relaxing one bit. My dad busted his hand. He got a nice gash on his hand while we were fixing the bolt on the Jeep, because when we pulled one of the links for the sway bar off, it wouldn't go back on, and so I had to disconnect the other one. And as we went to move it, because it kind of was stuck as we moved it, it popped loose and his hand went up into something, so he's got a little gash in there.
You now have my skin on your Jeep.
So yeah, it's been a day of days. Right now we're fighting with our dinner because it didn't really dethaw much. So we've been thawing it. Now it's sticking to the tin foil like crazy. All I can do is laugh. Well, I can't get mad. Like I could get really mad, but what's the point? It ain't gonna make anything better. So it has been a hell of a first day out here on the trail. But tomorrow is a new day. Maybe we'll find Rudy and Ellen. I have no idea. I don't know if we'll.
That was hamburger, not skin from my hand.
I hope you guys get the commentary in the background from him, because Lord. But yeah, well, I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll find them along the route, because they obviously either got lost or didn't come in here. Because I know they have some form of off-road maps. I don't remember if it's Gaia or Onyx. But Rudy does have off-road maps. He also has Starlink. So if he got lost coming here, I don't know. If he came here and he just didn't come far enough down to see us, he turned around and went back. I have not a clue. And I don't have Starlink. I don't have any of that. And we have zero service. I only have the Zoleo. And I've already sent out my messages. He's not connected on there. I didn't think about it. So we'll see. Probably won't find out anything unless we find them along the trail tomorrow or we catch some service somewhere. Because out here, at least by these lakes, there is nothing. No service. Which is nice, but, But, yeah. Good morning, guys. It was very pleasant last night. We slept really, really well. We went to sleep a little early, honestly. We were super tired. And it was in like the low 50s all night. It was beautiful. Until about, 4 a.m. There was a bear playing in the lake here. All you could hear was grunting and splashing, and it must have been having the time of its life. It never came near camp, but there was a bear out here playing in the water, so it is. But look at that lake, guys. That reflection, it is just beautiful out here. Absolutely beautiful. I can't believe it. It is so gorgeous. Now, we have packed up camp. The Jeep is right behind me. We're all packed up. I didn't really film a whole lot of it because there were some people that are mountain biking that are camping out near the water, and they were actually a little close to us, so I wasn't trying to be rude and disturbing. So, but we are all packed up. Today our goal is to head up towards Deadwood Lake. I don't know if we'll quite get there all the way. It is a bit of a distance, but we'll see. But that is sort of the destination point we are heading to, is Deadwood Lake. I'm bringing guys along like I always do. We're going to see what the trails entail. I don't think it's going to be super strenuous. A lot of it looks like there are a lot of county, Forest Service, county road type things. I don't know. And I'm hoping we'll run into Rudy and Alan along the way. It's up in the air. I don't know. But it is a gorgeous morning. It's been a good start to the morning. Let's see how the day continues to go, guys.
Today we have more ground to cover, going from Big Trinity Lake, passing several natural hot springs, going over a bridge all the way to Deadwood Reservoir. Yes, that is our end destination for today. And we do not know what lies ahead. All we know is that at the moment, trail and the Forest Service roads are super smooth. This morning has been absolutely beautiful with the temps in the low 60s. Idaho has been like no other place I've been to within the United States. Though certain areas look like other regions of the United States, the sheer beauty and true nature of it all, the actual natural feel of it, is on its own level. Yes, the Forest Service roads are super well maintained and well traveled, but you can tell off in the distance that when you look, nature is the one still in charge, and that humans have not touched it for a reason. River that you are seeing off to the driver's side is Middle Fork Boise River, and we traveled this route along this river for many miles, and along it are a ton of different little natural hot spring pools that are naturally warm. Guys, that river is extremely cold, but these little pools of water was like getting into a hot tub. It was so pleasant and just absolutely a great way to refresh the body.
Yes, we're on a very well-maintained Forest Service road, and it's got quite a bit of corrugations to it. But we have been running along this river for the past like 15-20 minutes, and it is beautiful. It is a huge river. It is super nice, and there are various hot springs along here, and I mean actual hot springs. Like there's a little pool that is hot, and it is really nice to actually see. And the fact that, you know, it said it's a hot spring, it actually is a hot spring, not something that isn't. But man, guys, it is beautiful. Just look at this. It is absolutely fantastic. Wow.
After another hour of traveling along the river, we turned off of that forest road and started to climb back up into the mountains. And boy, that climb was steep. And descended back down the other side of the mountain, we found ourselves following the North Fork Boise River. Yes, all these rivers kind of converge into the Boise River at some point, but they are split by the mountains itself, which is kind of cool. But we did follow this path until we couldn't anymore.
Okay, detour time. Part of our route is they have closed, the Forest Service has closed the roads to unsafe conditions, whether that means there's a fire, trees have fallen over, something, it's closed. We turned off onto the other, there was another, you know, route that went this out, but it will not get us to where we need to go, and it ends to a bunch of motorcycle paths according to Gaia. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back just a little short ways from the road that we needed to be on, is another Forest Service road that'll take us out to probably the main blacktop road. It's like, I don't know, I want to say Idaho 21 or something like that. So we're gonna pop out there, and then we will take that up to where it, hopefully, it won't be close, but where it'll reconnect with the road that we need to be on to continue up towards Deadwood Lake. So
little bit of backtracking, but it's okay. The route so far has been great, but it is closed. And what's nice is there are actually Forest Service people like working and trying to do stuff. So I don't know what the true conditions of that aspect are, but we can't go that way. Slight backtracking time, but it's not too bad because, like I said, the other route is close by. It's not like we have to backtrack hours. We are back on the trail. We have gotten back on track. We had to stop, get some fuel. I reconnected with, well, we got some service and I was able to connect to some Wi-Fi. I got some updates from Rudy. We've sent him a message. It's kind of a game of, I guess, touch and go now with communication. Hopefully he will check his stuff and be able to connect to the Zoleo because I have it on and we can communicate that way. Apparently something happened. He had to take Alan to the airport in Boise. So he is still on the route. He's just way further back. He's still trekking. So we'll see if he gets some communication with us. But we are back on dirt. We're airing back down though because it's all corrugated and I want to be comfortable. So here we go.
Though I had hoped to run into Rudy on the trail, it was good to get an update and to know that he was still on the route. And hopefully that we would connect with him later on down the road.
We have live green trees. So for the past, I don't know, hour and a half, almost 2 hours, everything has been dead. Every single tree has been dead from previous fires, and the earth has just been scorched from the flames and everything else from previous fires. And so it's been really depressing, honestly. It's just kind of eerie. It felt like you were, you know, going to where the land of the dead lives. And all of a sudden we rounded a corner and it's just boom, green trees. So it's great. And now all of a sudden it's died off again as I tell you this. Gotta love the forest, but there are more green trees within here. That's not just all dead. So
Alright guys, we've been driving for a while. We're at the Deadwood Reservoir. And this, what you're hearing, the Deadwood Dam. That's incredible. And guys, the temperature here, one, there's a mist coming off of the dam, but it is like 30 degrees colder over here. This is wild. Ah, oh, this is so worth it. So worth it.
That time again for camp, and I think we found an absolute gem of a spot.
So we're parked up there, and that's a nice camp spot. There's a lot of ants and like poop and everything else everywhere, which we can make it work. But we have a bunch of other sites over this way in front of us that we're gonna go check out. And we figured we might as well let the Jeep have a break and we can stretch our legs. But look at this view. That's the one thing that campsite has. It's got one hell of a view. Let's go check out these. Here is this site. This is at the very end, the opposite end, obviously. There's another site tucked up right over there, which, yeah. But this one's got a nice view. There's a little access down to the water, which the water's really clear. Ooh, this might be the winner. This might be the winner chicken dinner. I think so.
I was hoping for some more shade.
Yeah, but at least there's more flat spots where we can put the tent in the shade. What's back there? Oh, look. Because, oh, we're right there. Look. Oh, huge shade. My dad wants shade.
Oh,
so when he wants shade, we throw some shade at him. Old I mean, we just give him his shady spot.
Oh yeah, I think this is the win. Yo, I like this. We have our winner. That is the spot.
Need a flyer tonight?
I don't know, we'll see. We did not drag 8 bags with us for no reason.
Yeah, we'd always burn one of them.
So, what I'm talking about is we brought some fire starter pellet bags because the last trip we went on, the wood was so bad it went light. Here, the wood will definitely light, but we have a bunch of these bags, so we may use one. It's too damn hot for a fire, but it can be worth it just to have it as an ambience. So what we're gonna do, as in me and you, we're gonna go get the Jeep and bring it down here and make camp there. Though that was a really nice spot. That spot, we still get the lake view. We have access down to the little reservoir lake, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of shade for my dad. It's bigger, flatter, less bugs and poop and everything else. So glad we walked down here. And there's the Jeep.
Camp set up right there, lake view right there. Later on I'll go down to the water here in a little bit. Man, this is awesome, and it's tucked up away from the road. The road is back on the other side of all those trees. It's tucked back away, but it is so nice out here. But there are a lot of biting flies. We've been reducing the numbers slowly. But man, what another gorgeous campsite out here in Idaho, guys. It's absolutely spectacular. Well guys, we have hit golden hour out here. We ate dinner, everything, we've been chilling, we've been fighting the flies, but it is finally golden hour, and check out this view. Like, it is absolutely splendid out here. The lake has, or the reservoir lake, whatever you like to call it, has a nice calm feel to it. There's lots of birds chirping. It has just been so nice. Now the one thing I wish it would do is cool off. It's still about 80 degrees out here. And it's quite muggy, but I'm hoping with time it will cool off. And yes, I know I have a long sleeve shirt on to help protect me from the sun, but guys, it is awesome. Absolutely awesome. This has been an absolutely fun day, but tomorrow we have even more adventure to go, so I will catch you all in the morning. Enjoy the sunset, guys.
He's about a day behind us. I don't know if we'll ever see him again on the route.
Little gremlins that we need to take care of.